Hello, my name is Tina. Welcome to my channel. Tonight I would like to elaborate on knowledge, and I mean not of the regular knowledge but of the higher knowledge, and precisely the knowledge that everybody expects to have once you cross over. That means if you one day when you leave the meat suit, you're crossing over to the other reality, and it's almost like people think that once you up there, okay, that you're supposed to know everything. And why is that? Well, I already mentioned that I've been studying many NDE cases over many years, looking into the certain patterns, and quite a few, vast majority, claim that once they were experiencing the NDE, those people, okay, that they remember that it was like they knew, they claimed that they knew everything, like all the answers to everything in the universe, okay. Funny thing is that once they were back in the body, because I'm talking about near-death experiences, okay, that knowledge suddenly vanishes, okay. So there was they were remembering that they knew everything. However, once they were back in the body, they couldn't remember the details of what sort of things they knew, but they only knew on the whole that there was access to the whole knowledge. It's like they knew all the answers to absolutely everything. Now, why am I making this video tonight? This is like a little follow-up after me and my husband did channeling in my last video, and we communicated with my stepson Daniel, because there were like lots of questions afterwards. I mean, questions that people have, those are good questions, and yes, we're gonna do another video, answer every single one of those questions that we put there. But during that video, when we were talking with Daniel, okay, it was like there was few questions that Daniel didn't have answer to. And of course, he's gone, he's not here with us any longer, he's on the other side, and it seems like it's contradicting the NDE experiences in quite a big way, because it seems like there isn't such a thing that you know automatically everything only because you crossed over. I mean, yes, NDEs, you have to remember, guys, it's not real death. You're still coming back to the physical body, but it is a glimpse into some sort of region of some afterlife, although there is a lot of manipulation, I believe, through different sources up there, who do it within certain agenda to send some fake propaganda to be spread around in here, because there's lots of inconsistencies. What these people experiences, those is, by all means, those are real experiences. However, the context, what was shown to them, there was lots of if you study this for yourself, okay, you could see that there's many things that totally don't kind of band together, that there's lots of loose ends, and it's deception, you can see clearly. But now, going back to my last video, and we communicated with someone who we knew, me and my husband, and this is how we always did throughout quite a few years, the channeling. My husband doesn't go into no trance, okay. He communicates with the other side telepathically. As you could see, guys, this is how he always is during those sessions that we do. There's nothing freaky, we don't need any trance, any certain mood, putting candles on, light down or whatever. None of that takes place. No, this is how we communicate. Anyway, what Daniel was saying, that obviously he didn't say everything. He couldn't provide few answers that were given to him. And now, what I would like to explain in this video is that, in my opinion, we don't know everything in here, but yet we're expecting to know automatically everything up there. Oh wow, it's almost like what seems to me like it's like you have to earn certain level of knowledge, certain insight. Okay, if you don't have certain, for example, you never played piano. This is just an example. You never played piano in this life, but you like music, and you're expecting that as soon as you cross over, you're going to be able to play. No, it doesn't happen that way. Same with understanding other languages. It doesn't happen. Unless you learn the language here or certain skills, you won't be able to automatically take over that ability and flawlessly just perform. It doesn't happen. It's ongoing process, okay? You only get with you what you learn here, what you, how deep your awareness, how much your awareness gonna be aware of, you know, when you're crossing over. You're not gonna take any less or any more. So that's why certain questions were not answered. Now we have lots of things documented in writing and in recordings over the years. There were also different questions, and we were talking to different people and different beings from the other side who did answer some of the of different questions. But not all the questions were answered. I'm just saying, even somebody who was claimed to be on the other side for very long time, not just couple of years, like Daniel's been there like 18 months, but there were beings that resigned at that other side a really long time, and they still don't know the answers. So what I'm trying to say that the knowledge has to be earned, and you have to progress between certain interest of yours, or to deepen a certain ability to make it happen. Okay, it doesn't just happen automatically. And I keep saying, guys, in most videos, that I don't know everything, and the more I know, the less I know, because this is how it goes when you're pursuing this kind of knowledge within this metaphysical region. Nothing can be proven scientifically, okay? So science doesn't really do much in here, because science it's proof of something, to verify something for sure. We cannot provide that, okay? And neither can anybody else who does channeling out there. They cannot provide any scientific proofs. You have to just pay attention what makes sense, how does it come across, okay, and what contents are in there. I think that when you're dealing with tricksters, because we did, they're going over the top, they're telling you what to do, they're giving you tricky, like they question you sometimes. And this is how you recognize that you're on the wrong path. And I would advise, if you guys experimenting within this area, please cut all the ties immediately. If somebody's expecting something from you, asking you questions when you feel uncomfortable, you could sense basically. So this is just a little bit of like an insight. Be very careful. No, we don't do channeling regularly like we used to do. The last session with Daniel, I did it for the benefit of everybody, so to show you guys basically how it works and what we do. I mean, we don't do it regularly, I'm just repeating. I just did it for the benefit of some questions that people may have, because lots of people probably do have questions that are very important to them to be answered in some shape or form. And I do some questions too from myself, because I don't know everything. I mean, some of the guys that listen to this video with Daniel suggest that Daniel hasn't left the matrix, and I cannot guarantee that either. When we asked him directly the questions, he said he feels like, because he feels like nothing or nobody is controlling him. He doesn't feel that oppressiveness when he was feeling when he was in here with us. this heaviness, when you feel heavy, oppressed, like almost, that energy that is being like drained from you. He doesn't have that. So that's why he said that he thinks that he's not. He doesn't feel like he's between this system. However, he's not 100% sure, because he's moving on from that place that we, when we spoke within that session, that he moved on somewhere else. Yes, we're gonna ask in more detail, okay, and to explain what sort of place he is like right now, and maybe in 6 months' time see the progress, how it goes. But there is not like guarantees. I mean, so far he hasn't noticed anybody telling him anything and restricting him in any way. So this is a sure sign that you have some freedom. And also another thing is, he noticed one thing, that other guys that in that between that level, they also seem not to know anything about. They didn't have the tunnel, the classic sign when people crossing over, and they all don't know about reincarnation. They don't remember any past lives. So I believe that you go to the level where you feel where you're ready to embrace that level, when you're ready to resign between that level of knowledge and the level of your awareness, how deep it is. If you know a few more things, and if you are deeply into questioning everything and have some answers, obviously you're gonna find yourself in a level where you will feel also at home between that energy that you have, and also how deep your awareness is. Yes, everybody gravitates, seems to me like it, to a place where they feel you're not going to any higher level that is beyond your understanding, and everybody else seems to have the same level of knowledge. Yes, I'm still studying all this. I'm looking into it. I don't claim to treat this as absolute truth either, but it makes sense to me that when somebody crosses over, you're not going to go suddenly to somewhere where you totally be out of sync with what goes on in that reality, and you wouldn't understand the others who are much higher, and because they gain that kind of knowledge. Okay, you're going to be on exactly the same level as everyone else between that place. And what happens really between these settings? No, you don't stay forever in that level. No, if you decide to move on somewhere else, okay, you kind of move on in the same way like you like here you're progressing to the certain level of discovering something. Okay, that's what I managed to find out recently. That makes sense to me, but this is, again, I don't treat life here as some sort of a school, like you're learning lessons, because that is very nonsensical to me. I mean, I already made my point on that in many videos that I already recorded. So this is my continuation of seeking. I'm a seeker, I'm not a scientist. And I kind of share what I know, and I question what I don't know. So this is how I go about. Okay, I don't claim that I know anything special. I only share what I managed to find out, because I'm an older person, and at this stage I felt right to do so, to share with somebody. I mean, I know many people may not agree with me, but as I'm saying, if you feel that the videos are hard for you to watch and you disagree totally with what I'm saying, I mean, it offends you in any way, I mean, I'm not asking anybody to follow or to stay, because that's not the case. I'm not making these videos for money, for any fame, for any recognition either. I'm just sharing to a small group of people in here who are like-minded and who would like to perhaps join this journey in the same way. And if you have anything, like for example yourself, something interesting to share and to contribute, by all means put it in the comment sections, and I always welcome anything that is like, you know, when you independent thinker and you come to certain conclusions, I always like to hear from other people, how they feel, what they think. Because as I said, I don't know everything, and I'm not saying that I'm some sort of guru of knowledge in this area. Absolutely not. As I said, I'm just an ordinary person who questions things because something doesn't seem to be right in between this word. Things are rotten, absolutely rotten, and I question those things. But will I be able to move forward much? I don't know. What I've noticed, however, that I did move somehow between when I was like 3-4 years ago and where I am now. Between my understanding and awareness, I think my awareness has deepened a bit, and understanding the way I see things. But that's it, really, you know. I would like to always continue, and I will make videos as long as it will be possible for me. If I can contribute something and help anybody to understand things a little bit better, because there's lots of confusion up there, honestly, lots of confusion, lots of assumptions. As I said, I'm dealing with a very, very on a very shaky territory, because since recently, when I started to talk about channeling, I could see there's like almost I sense a bit of a disturbance there, because lots of people don't trust channeling, and I quite understand, guys, where you're coming from, because to be honest, I mean, how can we prove? How can I prove? I mean, what if it isn't what we say? What if we didn't speak to my stepson? I mean, is it impossible? That's the good question, because there is a possibility. Yes, there is a possibility that you know, there could be some imposter, some evil entity, and telling us all this in such a manner that it seems to us that it's mimicking my stepson. I don't know. I'm just saying, guys, we're sharing this, and the very same thing goes for any other medium, for any other person who has this ability of channeling, okay? That they got a psychic gift, that they hear. And yes, there's also those who can see as well, but my husband cannot see, but he can hear telepathically. We can only rely what we hear through, but we cannot prove it. As I said, if there was an equipment, it would be great to record who we're talking to. But even so, that's another level, you see. When you experiencing NDE, you both hear and you see. And you don't, between this setting, of course, you don't have the ability, like, because you don't need to, you are there yourself. You kind of standing on this threshold of that you may cross over or you go back to your body, and you got a glimpse to some other reality. So you can say, okay, I saw it and I heard it, but at the same time I was kicked back to the body, so I could have been deceived. Some people say yes, that they do admit that they have been deceived, yeah. Yeah, but there's also lots of encounters in between the NDE experience area, where things seems like it was all loving and all very promising, a wonderful experience, and they came back thinking there's a big mission here to share. But the bottom line is, what is that big mission? What do we really learn? When somebody says that they've seen some beautiful place and they seen these beings of light, and that they embraced them with love and with all this beauty that they were showing them, that is not much of that I could go by, because to me something like this, it's over non-stop, all on and on and on. Yes, no, as I said, the people sometimes admit that they don't understand the experience. How did it happen? That things were taking very unsavory turn, and they were begging to stay there, and yet they were kicked back to the body. And that's another thing, that they claim that they have access to the whole knowledge. That when you cross over, everything comes back to you, all your memory that was wiped, and everything you ever learned, and also what the universe mysteries. There's no question that won't be unanswered, and that seems not to be the case. I mean, when you do channeling, and I say, if you are this kind of person that are open-minded enough to try channeling with somebody that could be trustworthy, I encourage you guys, go and ask this sort of questions and see what comes through, whoever you're communicating with. But that could be somebody who's there and they are more knowledgeable or less knowledgeable. I don't know. I mean, some questions are answered, some are not answered. It depends who we're communicating with. And I'm saying, I'm not encouraging for you guys to do this, because I already did the warning in a couple of videos, and I'm treating this very seriously. This is not a game, and this is not something that I would do it like for entertainment. Okay, so I pay attention to that. This is like knowledge and education. Okay, this is the reasons to share this, and what we do with this information, we just have to wait and see how it feels. How does it evolve out, and does it sink like something truthful, or you have questions and you feel uneasy and uncomfortable with it? You have to ask this kind of questions. But anyway, that would be it for tonight. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please take care for now. See you next time. Bye bye.